Welcome back to Saturday. No, I'm kidding. It's not Saturday Night Live. It is actually a Friday, unfortunately for us. That is okay. Welcome back to a very special episode of Not Your Story, sponsored by OGGN. We are back with Vasili Borisov. Did I say that properly?
Very well, actually.
Perfect.
With the Russian accent.
Really?
Mhm.
Beautiful. I've been practicing for today. We are
Nice.
back with Vasili from Cool Edge Bits. We are doing NAPE Day 2. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but they are currently
They're
wrapping up.
packing up right now.
They're packing up. And so we have got ourselves a fantastic guest on board. I hope you guys are ready. How are you, Vasili?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you
Yeah.
for coming all the way down here.
I think they're announcing the truck right now as we speak, so
Your
I'll
ears
use
are-
these satellites to make sure we hear it if we win. So
Perfect.
Vasili, I'm glad we're finally around the table. Like, this has been a long time in the
Yes,
works, so we're
yes.
finally here. We're in Houston. It's
Mhm.
great to finally see your face in person. So, yeah, let's start off with a bit of background of who is Vasili, Vasili's origin story. Let's start off there.
Yeah, so I was born on the other side of the world in Moscow, and we immigrated here, our family, in the early 90s. My
Mhm.
father received a Fulbright grant and was given to, leading world research scientists. And so we moved here. I was playing tennis since age 5, so I was already, even at age 10, deep in that game. And so that was just kind of my life.
Yep.
Everything's going on around me. I'm training, going to play tournaments. That was tennis, throughout my teen years, high school and on. Got a chance to play some professional tennis after the high school years, and then kind of just had some setbacks, some injuries.
Yeah.
My first child was being born, kind of real life, quote unquote, started. So just fell into coaching
Yeah.
tennis. Never realized, I always thought myself as a player, not a coach. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm a player, I'm not a coach. But when my first experience was very rewarding, so I got to kind of follow that path. I realized I love helping other people more than I like helping myself. So
Yeah.
got into coaching, doing that, and then got married, started having children and more children, and 5 kids later, here we are. But somewhere, a couple years back, I kind of was always working in the W-2 prison, as I call it, or corporate world, country clubs, tennis centers, big
Yep.
places, and kind of really always thought of myself as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
but I was really pushed by some good people, friends of mine, clients, students of mine, to really get out there and do it on my own. So started my own tennis academy, and then started having other businesses and being successful, and
Yeah.
and then my dad was like, hey, drill bits, so that's where we come to Cool Edge Bits.
Well, yeah, I think that's a great lead in. So
Mhm.
what got you started and a foot in the door in the oil and gas industry, and where did that take off, and that light set in your fire that you wanted to start your own business, Cool Edge Bits?
Yeah, so my father is a world-renowned rocket scientist. He's worked at some of the biggest government places like NASA and other privately owned by billionaire places. My dad, throughout his life, had some friends that were business owners in oil and gas, drilling wells across the world, and they kind of knew that he's got the perfect brain experience, life's works, studies in physics, mechanical engineering, with mass heat transfer, fluid dynamics, thermodynamics, to where they kept bugging him about looking at drill bits that they're using from all the top companies. We know them all. We can name them. We won't name them. But he didn't want to mess with it, and kind of like a hobby to him, really. So they kept bringing over used bits to his house from all the top bit companies, and finally, I guess his garage filled up enough to where he didn't have room to move. So he was like, okay, let me look. So he started to look basically at the design of the bit, right,
Yeah.
from everyone else, and first of all, okay, there's not enough nozzles, right? Because his whole career he spent with working on heat rejection for rocket engine design, different machinery, engines, combustion engines. So he said, first of all, there's not enough nozzles, not enough ports, right? That most have 6, 7, 8. And why are they pointing down? Why are they going down to the cutting floor, right?
Yeah.
The cutting is actually happening here. All the shearing, the cutting, it's happening at the cutters, at the cutting edge.
The cutting edge.
So that's kind of our patents. Our IP is all based on directional fluid flow right here to these bad boys right here. Just cleaning, washing off the diamonds, cooling the cutting edge, right?
Mhm.
Rejecting the heat from this process because it gets very hot as it
Yep.
goes down hole. So we've been able to bring the temperature down on a conventional bit,
Yep.
slice it in half, we're drilling at half cooler temperatures. So
And are these true to size?
No.
If I were to be the ground right now, staring this in the face, would this be the exact size I'm looking at?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, no. So, well, actually, they make some tiny drill bits now, small sizes, but you know, the most of the sizes that we're working with will be your 7 and 7/8, 8 3/4, 8 1/2, those kind of sizes. But we can make any size bit. Well, I think someone won.
Are they calling your name right now?
Are we
Let's
catching
see.
this?
I've got spies.
Are you catching all the yelling in the back?
Did I win? Comma. Give me some good news.
For those of you watching, if you don't know, we've been doing marketing with Vasili for how long now?
Well, we started really talks about in the summer, but kind of officially engaged a couple months back. And you know, I feel like it's a mirror of our business because everyone's in shock that we've only been in business for a year and how much we've scaled.
Yeah.
And kind of with you guys, similar. Like as soon as we started with y'all, I have many ideas that we wanted to implement with sales and marketing, and you've been able to keep up with me, which I haven't found many people that have, as far as just work ethic and you know, action, not just talk. And so that's been great with Midnight Marketing. You guys are really helping put us out there, and not just marketing and, you know, digital marketing, getting us out there, but also helping come up with new cool ideas of how to improve the business. And so
Thank you, man. Well, I mean, listen, it's not everyone that does. I mean, there are drill bit companies out there, but it's about standing out specifically in the PDC drill bit space.
Right. So you have rock bits, you have PDC bits. Kind of, you know, 1906, Howard Hughes invented the drill bit, which was, you know, a rock bit. But
Thanks, Howard.
PDC bits basically started to take over. Kind of were looked at in the late 80s, early to mid to late 80s, but really started to get in the game heavy kind of in the 90s. And you know, we're here to just improve it and perfect it. I guess you can't ever get perfect, but you know, I always say it's like, you know, a drill bit, especially our drill bit, is like it's like the, you know, the shoe on your foot that connects to your leg, that connects to your body, right? It's like you can still, but you're not really getting around with it. Or it's like the tires on a race car. You know, you can have a great, super fast, nice, shiny, you know, good color, good speed, good engine car, but without the tires, you're really not going anywhere, right? And so that's kind of how I would say a drill bit would be in the drilling space. It's a small percent of the actual process, but because there's big, expensive, heavy, you know, tools, even downhole tools, but it's without the drill bit, you're not doing any drilling.
I mean, speaking of drilling, sounds like they're doing some of it all the way on the other side of the hall. I don't know if you guys are catching that, but listen, we're bringing Nolan gas to NAPE. We were serious about it, not just the exhibits, guys. We're going real.
You can mess up drilling a hole in the wall if you're not careful. So you know.
Well, listen, that's why I don't do any drilling.
Yeah.
I just hope for the best, and I call someone who knows how to do it.
Amen to that. I am definitely lean on professionals to do the work that needs to be done. So,
Vasili, Cool Edge is still pretty new in the game, and like, how do you compete against the big boys? There's a lot of big companies in the drill bit space. You're new to the market. You have some cool tech. You're innovating. How do you compete against the big players in the game?
Yeah, so I think, you know, thanks to our new president, kind of the market itself, right? Drill, baby, drill's going up, right, in the next 4 or 5 years, hopefully longer. We feel like the team that we're creating and fostering is a winning team. And then the product, right? We just truly, we have a better product. And we're proving it, not just in the, you know, in the lab, but also with field tests and field runs, right? We're getting in with some tier 3, initially tier 2, and now tier 1 operators, and running our bits and showing a 10, 20, 30% increase in performance, which saves, you know, $40, $50, $60,000 a well. So, you know, you can multiply that by how many wells you're drilling this year. It may be 20 if you're a smaller operator, maybe 400 if you're a larger one. And then that's how much you're going to save by using our bits, you know, equal sign, whatever, right? Savings. So.
And what are the key benefits of a customer choosing one of these drill bits over a competitor?
Yeah, I mean, benefits, you know, we like to try to take a very kind of client-centric approach, you know, and we have really good kind of account management with our customers, because we, you know, we really get in and we try to help drilling engineers, drilling operations solve their problems, right? There's different problems that folks face when they're out there in the field with, you know, their drilling operations. So we get in there and, we really sit and talk with, the people that are in charge and of making the call of using our bit and say, hey, what bits are you using? What are they doing? What issues are you having? What problems are you seeing? And how can we help? We can tell you exactly how we're going to help you, but what would you like us to help you with? And usually it's get the job done better, faster, more affordable, rate. And then we go to work and we kind of custom design a bit for that specific operator. And then we start a drill bit line for them, and we work closely with them to continue to push out, the best bits on the market. So.
And what are some of those key problems that your customers are facing consistently?
Yeah, just downtime, the bits balling up, losing the bits down hole, going to fish them out, so all that takes a lot of time, takes a lot of tools, cost, time. We're all about cost savings, efficiency in 2025 and on. That's what we bring as a business, as a tool, downhole tool. So, full speed ahead. We have some great investors behind us as well. So, they're even telling us like, hey, don't worry about chasing investors. We got you. Go out there and sell bits, rent bits, and get those run reports. And cherry on top would be the testimony from the operator saying, hey, I was using a blank bit. Then I put a Cool Edge bits bit down hole, and man, it completely improved the performance of my drilling operation. So
you mentioned investors. Recently, you received venture capital. First of all, congratulations for that. And
thank you.
Question for you, marketing related, like what would your advice be to someone out there that's looking to raise capital, and how do you go out there and tell a compelling story to a VC company that wants to invest in your product and in your brand?
I think marketing plays a big part of it. I think if you're raising capital, you really have to just grind. You have to be a hustler. You have to be. You can't let no's stop you. You have to take 1,000 no's until you get that first or second yes. And you just have to put your feet to the ground and get out there and we try to shoot with a shotgun approach. We're not shooting with a sniper rifle yet, so we're trying to just get our name, our company out to as many potential customers, investors as possible. Not so much investors anymore. And then again, most people, I like the whole kind of metric-based system, and performance-based kind of results. A handshake is nice. A relationship is great. I think that's very, very important to have a good business relationship with your customers. But when it comes down to it, people are looking at the numbers, right? And so if we're able to prove to whoever it is that, hey, we're putting up better numbers than anyone else, I think at that point, especially if you're an operator or a drilling service company, you would be a fool to not go with our product. So
and I think naturally, Vasili, you're a great storyteller. You tell very compelling stories, and we're always on the edge of our seats listening to stories about your Russian rocket science father and all of this innovation. What would your advice be to someone going out there and telling their story to connect with an investor or customer? I
think marketing and sales is, if you're like real salesy and you're like put a bunch of things on the table and say buy this, what I got, this. A lot of times that doesn't get the job done. I think great marketers are people who can tell a good story, right? Because a good product is important, a good team is important. A market rising is important. But I think most people will gravitate towards an inspiring story, or maybe someone like personally, I was riding high, doing my thing, playing tennis, being competitive, and then I had a period of my life where things didn't go so well, and turned complete opposite direction and was doing not great at all. And so and being able to go through that and then rise from that, and kind of the here in our country, or in America, Canada as well, people like a redeeming kind of story. If you fell once, fell twice, you got back up, and then you're able to then
the hero's journey, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if you're and whatever, like that's my story. Whatever your story is, I'm just generally interested in people. I think you can have, in my opinion, if you are good at what you do. You can have any person in my place here and get a good podcast out of it, and have them tell their story. You know what I mean? Whether it's life, business, family, whatever, past experience. So
Whether it's your story or not your story, roll the credits.
right, exactly.
Yeah, it's just
So,
about being curious. And what I love is people that are willing to be authentic and share those things, because it's not easy. Not everyone is willing to share
yeah.
the highs and the lows.
Yeah,
So,
and you know, it's so funny you say that, because one of our latest LinkedIn posts that you guys did for us, there's, you know, right away, I mean, people saying, oh, you know, oh, can you believe this, or the nerves of that, or, you know, this is so whatever, right? Some type of negative response, and or someone says something like, oh, this is so embarrassing, when I was talking about like, oh, it took a rocket scientist to do it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is embarrassing, because one of your people in your field should have done it. But it
Yeah.
took my dad, who really didn't care. It was a hobby for him. He was just
Yeah.
trying to help his friends. And he went and had a breakthrough, you know, disruptor in the space
Yeah.
that hasn't been looked at, or, you know, and everyone's always like, oh, you can't do it, you won't do it, telling him
Yeah.
or me. And then when we get it done, they're like, oh, yeah, of course. That is how you do it. We knew that all along. So,
Yeah.
you know, we always say, like, you know, people keep the haters coming. You know, they keep all that does is inspire me and motivate me to do better. You know,
Yeah.
and they're always lying in the grass somewhere looking to say something, but any attention, you know, we'll take it. And that's something that drives me more than anything. If someone's like, hey, you can't do it, you won't do it, it's never been done,
Yeah.
I'm like, let me show you. Okay, and just stay tuned. So,
And I think what people don't understand is that obviously when you're doing something well, people won't tell you. When you're doing something wrong or terribly, they won't hesitate to let you know that they saw it, they saw it first. But what
Yeah.
people also don't realize is that engagement is engagement. So
Right.
even though they can comment all they want, but the more that they engage with you on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on any other social platform, they're actually just boosting you to
Yeah.
more people. They're going to
Exactly.
boost you to the to the pages and to the feeds of people that want to see your content, that want to see
Right.
what you're doing. So you know what? Thank you for all the bad.
Thanks for the haters.
Shout out to the haters. Shout out
Yes.
to the not very nice comments. Because
Yep.
they're pushing us in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just talk to me. You know, there's no action behind it ever. So, you know, to me, like I said, it's all inspiring. The more those people talk, the more it inspires me to go out and do better. And in the end, it's like, look, like you said, attention, get the attention out there, and the right people that actually do look at
Yep.
great products, new tech, you know, services, products. You guys provide a great, you know, service. We have a great product, and when we team that up, you know, you can only win, all right, with good people behind it. So
There's a great quote. I can't remember where it's from, so I'm sorry for whoever it's attributed to, but you need to piss off the 80% to win the 20%. So being bold and not caring to be a little bit disruptive with your messaging is a good thing. The worst thing is people being ambivalent and not caring about what you're saying. So
it's sad that, you know, negativity draws more attention, but out of that, there's always, you know, the positive, you know, action, or people that want to do good and or help people, or improve, you know, people's lives or work, that always rises out of that, rises to the top. So.
They point out what we otherwise wouldn't have seen from a different perspective, and it just makes us better. So at the end of the day, yes, they haven't construed it the way we want to hear it, but at the very least, someone's telling you, because not everyone's gonna have the balls to tell you, like, hey, I think that, excuse my language, I think that this is shit. I think that you need to change this. Well, thank you very much for letting me know, because now I can get better. So that you can be looking at what I do in the future, in a month from now, 10 months from now, a year from now, and say, yeah, I did that. I saw that. I noticed it.
No, I appreciate that. I like that you brought that up. That I love criticism, right? I grew up on that, like coming from
coaching.
You know, sports or coaching, or like the people that stay quiet when they see you not doing that. That's not your really friend, right? Your friends are going to be, when they see you fucking up, they're going to tell you. They're going to, you know, call you out on it. So that's how I operate best, you know, is like, hey man, what's up? Let me know. Let's figure it out. Let's fix it. So both sides can get better, and let's keep it pushing, you know. So
I love that.
looking ahead, Vasili, 2025. Look, we've off to a great start. Lots of momentum.
Yes.
What's on the horizon for Vasili and Cool Edge in the rest of 2025?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've hit the ground running. You know, we're building bits for different regions. West Texas, we love our West Texas folks. That's our home, our back pocket, you know, so we're getting down hole there. We've got some Canadian operators that are also have some, you know, purchase orders and interest in running our bits. And then we're also making bits for the Middle East. We're gonna throw those things over the ocean. Hope we get paid. No, I'm just
Little
kidding.
toss.
Just kidding. And so yeah, I mean, there's lots of things happening. You know, my goal is to at this point is, you know, as our bits get down hole, we are proving that we have a better product. So if someone's like, get me 3 or 4 for these initial try runs, oh, well, okay, that is you are doing a better job. Now get me 10, 20. Okay, now supply chain management, I've got to hire more people, keep the team in place, you know, get manufacturing ramped up. So that's really what I feel this year will be up to, is just scaling, you know, and getting to a point where it's a well-oiled machine, you know, so.
And on a personal level, what are some of your aspirations?
Personal, you know, I'd like to, I always say, like, people say, like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to start my own business and this way I'll have, you know, make my own schedule and spend more time with the family. People who said that have never started their own business. That's BS. You know, when truly, you know, having this business and we have a nonprofit organization and working, you know, in other spaces, it's truly a lot of time that's spent on it. You know, and it's just wake up, go, you know, get home, see the wife and the kids, you know, fall in the bed and do it all over again. So I would say that's personal goal, is to weed out some more time, to spend time with, I've got 5 kids, got a beautiful wife, you know, she's my chief of staff, and basically to spend more time with my family, you know. So.
And at the end of the day, what does it all mean to you? What does happiness mean to you?
Yeah, happiness, to me, like, I'm not a selfish person. I very much care about other people more. So I think what brings happiness to me is seeing other people be happy and do well and succeed, and or helping other people get out of crazy, tough situations that they personally maybe don't see a way out of, coming in and extending a hand or whatever it is that they need to help them. Me, personal happiness is seeing other people happy.
So we talk about wanting to see other people succeed. And we talked about Vasili of the present, we talked about Vasili of the future. Vasili of the past, if you had 16-year-old you sitting across the table from you right now, what would you tell him? What advice would you give him right now?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Well, at that age, I was, you know, very much thriving, school, playing tennis, had a real good, you know, high ranking state-wise, you know, national ranking. And I would say, you know, don't get distracted, you know, kind of keep your goals and priorities and focus singular towards your goal. I would also say, you know, there's going to be a lot of difficulties that come your way. Kind of never give up, you know, and always try to find a way around the, you know, big wall that's put in front of you. So, you know, keep climbing over that wall, going around it, or going straight through it. But definitely, you know, be ready for a lot of no's. But the yeses that come are gonna, you know, make your life great.
That's so good. That is so good.
Quote that.
I mean, we have it on camera.
There you go.
This is gonna be chopped up into little bits. This is definitely gonna be one of
cool
those
edge bits.
Little bits.
Let's chop it into cool edge bits. Last off, Vasili, where can people find more about you, Vasili, and about Cool Edge?
So LinkedIn, Cool Edge Bits Inc. is our LinkedIn page. Our website is cooledgebits.com. You can always reach me. You know, I keep this thing in my hip or in my hand, or any of our emails, you know, my email, our admin email. And just lastly, I want to point out, like, you know, we have lots of great people behind us, you know, with my father inventing, with my uncle in Canada, you know, being a big time kind of advisor and playing a huge role just personally with helping me out and keeping me there. And, you know, we have some great, you know, engineers and designers and manufacturing team behind us, and marketing. It's like it's a big ship, you know. I'm steering it, trying to steer it, but I think we're headed across all the oceans. So
to the cutting edge.
Yes, to the cutting edge. By the way, speaking of that, we are gonna be doing a podcast that you guys are helping us with, called the Cutting Edge Podcast. So we're gonna start that probably within the next month. So look out for that.
Oh, teaser trailer! I love that. I mean, man, it looks like you have some pretty cool edge bits. They seem pretty cool. No, it's again, it's a product that is revolutionizing the drilling industry, and we're very proud of it. So our goal is just to, man, we want to get these bits on every rig
in the world. That's the
Yeah.
goal. So, we're right now we're in Houston, Texas. We have a division in Canada. We want to get to the Middle East and Latin America and those places, and but we have to take our time and kind of put one foot after the other. So.
Yeah. Well, Vasili, appreciate you joining us. It's great to finally meet you face to face in person,
Yes,
and
that was
we better
awesome.
wrap this up before they kick us out of,
All right.
of this place.
I mean, at this rate, they'll probably carry us out on the chairs with the cameras.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would be
mind
nice.
a little walking podcast.
I was hoping the camera would pick up and follow me as I go to collect my truck, but
But
didn't happen.
another
But it's
day,
all
Alas.
good.
another day.
Alas, we will figure out another truck. We will get it wrapped for you. We'll figure it out. We'll even have a life-size Cool Edge drill bit in the bed of the truck.
Yes.
We have ideas. We have merch ideas for this.
Well, the goal is to have a line of trucks out there in Midland and other places, Cool Edge Bits trucks with a bunch of bits in the beds. So.
The future is bright, and the future is very cool.
Yes.
And Bella, where can people find us?
Oh, you can find us in Montreal. No, I'm kidding. Actually, yeah, you could. You can find us at midnightmarketing.com. You can find us on LinkedIn. You could find Rory and I on LinkedIn. And you could also find this guy at Not Your Story, available on YouTube, Apple, what else? Spotify. Who knows? Listen, if you need us, just do a little caca into the distance and we'll come running.
Until then.
Peace.